while this case worked out. Your Honor, this has obviously been a life-altering experience for my client. I mean, I've talked to him several times I met him right after he got in the jail, and I've been talking to him ever since. And he's told me, looking back, he could have handled things a lot differently here. I think he's learned a lot. I think he's grown a lot. But I also think he didn't act in any malicious intent here. He wasn't out to kill the victim that night. He was simply looking to go back to his room with his girlfriend. I believe that he may have acted in self-defense, but that could have gone either way. And my client, and I'm not trying to undermine his culpability here. He was 20 with a handgun. He's told me, Bill, I want to take responsibility for my actions, and he did. I'm respectfully asking the court to take into account his age, his lack of a history. He really doesn't have a criminal history, Your Honor, and the fact of the circumstances of what happened here. I know we had extensive discussions in chambers off the record, so I know the court's well aware of what transpired there. But I'm asking the court to take those factors into consideration and put my client on community control. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Banks, what do you want to tell me?
Stand up.
I would like to first apologize for being late to court today. We were stuck in traffic, but I did carry a handgun on the day of February 14th, 2026, and I would take responsibility for that. I'm sorry for that, Your Honor. And I felt like I was just acting in self-defense that day. I didn't want to shoot anybody. I didn't want to feel the need to defend myself. I just wanted to enjoy my night with my girlfriend on Valentine's Day. And unfortunately, I had a gun pulled on me while trying to walk away from the scene. And I fired 4 shots at the victim. And I felt like I was acting in self-defense, but I will take responsibility for that. And yes, Your Honor. And I'm sorry for leaving the scene. I was scared.
The sentencing starts with a case that already looks different from the average violent felony. The guilty plea closes the question of legal responsibility, but it does not answer the harder question of punishment. That is where the defense begins shifting the court's attention.
I was just really frantic. I can't really remember some things from that night, but I do remember the night. I was just scared. It's been traumatizing, and I'd like to express my apologies today, Your Honor.
You were across the street at the CVS?
Yes, Your Honor.
Came back to the skylight. Were you with your girlfriend at the time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what happens?
I was walking and I seen a guy. He was staring at me.
Where was he?
He was in front of the Skylight Inn, where you walk in, and he was looking over his car at us while we were walking this way, and he was looking at us like this. And I said, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yo, what's up?" And then I said, "What's up?" He's like, "What's up?" And then he started reaching in his car under his seat for something, and that's when I told my girlfriend to go ahead of me because I didn't think that was going to be good. So we walked inside, went into that little area with the glass, started to go up the stairs, and when I opened the key card up and went to go close the door, something had my hand, or not my hand, I'm sorry, something had the door, and when I looked behind me, I seen the victim, Darion Shepard, pulling something out of his pants, and then I seen when it was a gun, and he started to pull it out more. That's when I fired shots at him, and then that's when me and my girlfriend went back to the hotel room, and then that's where I put the gun at, and then that's when I left, ran into cops. They told us to wait downstairs, and I was in the lobby for a couple minutes, and then I left, Your Honor.
And when did you turn yourself in?
The same night, probably an hour later, when I found out that they were looking for me, maybe 30 minutes later. I had my grandmother, Kim Valen, turn me in to the Willoughby Police Department.
Why did you have a gun?
To defend myself. I would.
Where were you that you thought you might run into trouble such that you needed a gun?
Shaker Heights, Lee Road, and over by Harvard and all that. I don't really have a car, so I walk a lot, and there's a lot of, I guess, young kids causing trouble and groups of people that like to beat people up over there. Some shootings in Shaker Heights. It's very conflicted over there, being by Lee and Harvard. I never wanted to look for any malicious intent on using that gun other than defending myself. That's all I have ever wanted to do with it, Your Honor, and that's the truth.
Okay, so this discussion, such as it was with Shepard, wasn't calm, was it? You portrayed it as being just...
To be honest, I was just wondering, like, if he was like staring at me for some specific reason. I didn't want to incite any violence towards him, but I felt like he took that the wrong way. And when he did take that the wrong way and started reaching in his car, that's when I told my girlfriend to go inside, because he was reaching under his seat for something. I don't know what it was.
What did you think it was that he was
I thought it
reaching
was a gun.
for? All right. And when you were upstairs, when you opened the door to the room,
I'm sorry, which room?
the hotel room, is that when... There was one door to get into the hallway, right?
Okay,
Secure
so
door?
Okay, so I'm sorry. At the bottom, it's the outside, and so that's when you go in. That door's unlocked, and then there's a flight of stairs, and at the top of that stairs, that's what leads to the hallway of the rooms. Right. And go ahead.
So you have to open another door to get to that hallway, or no?
Yeah, it has to be with the key card.
Right.
Yes,
so is that the door where he tried to get in?
Yeah.
All right.
He grabbed that door right behind me.
When did you realize he was behind you?
Oh, I realized.
Did you know he was coming up the stairs?
No, I didn't. My girlfriend actually notified that he was behind me.
Was she in front of you?
No. Yeah, she was in front of me.
Okay. And so you use your key card to open that door.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he tries to get in that door?
Yeah, he grabbed it right behind me before it could even get the close, Your Honor.
Okay. And you turn around?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what?
I tell him don't do it, and then that's when he pulls his gun out even further. And
don't do what?
The defendant understands that this hearing is about credibility as much as remorse. Simply saying, "I'm sorry," rarely changes a sentence. What matters is whether the explanation stays consistent when the judge begins asking difficult questions.
He would hand his hand like this already, and that's when I was like, don't do it, you know what I mean? Because he had the hand on the door, I was trying to back up, and then that's when he pulled the gun out, and then that's when I fired and retreated, and then I started to back up and train my firearm on that door even more in case he came through that door, because I was scared that he was trying to come after me, Your Honor.
Okay. Had you ever used that gun before?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever used that gun before?
Have I ever shot that gun before?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where?
Just out in, with my friends. We used to shoot it in the country, you know what I mean? Just not any malicious things, not like anybody, or, you know what I mean?
Just out in the open?
No. What do you mean the open?
At a range or what?
No, it's out in the country on a private property, like Leroy, or that's one place we went, but nowhere in city limits that you're not allowed to, you know what I mean?
Okay. So what about this video that's running around? What do you know about that?
Of Darian Shepard?
Yeah.
Well, I was notified by some people that Darian Shepard posted music video at Skylight Inn at the same staircase that the incident happened at, Your Honor. And there's some provocative things in there that he is out to look for me, I guess, asking around from where I live at.
Who sent that to you?
I found that. Nobody sent it to me, but I looked at it for myself after I was told about it.
Okay.
And I found out that he, saying some provocative things about me that aren't too good. Kind of scared.
All right. So what else? What are you doing? Do you work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where?
Essex House, apartments in Shaker Heights, and Blair House.
What do you do?
I don't officially work there. I'm a subcontractor, with Cleveland Pro Solutions LLC.
Doing what?
We do contracting in units, demos, floor installations, painting, a lot of demos. And
How long have you been working there?
2 years. And I have some letters from some of those people too, if you have time for that, Your Honor.
All right, I can't see anything. At the employment, there's none reported. Did you talk to the probation officer about this?
About yeah, I did. Yeah, he should have wrote it on there. I told him about working as a subcontractor there. I told him it was under the table. I told him that it wasn't on, you know.
All right, when are you going to get an over the table job?
I can start applying as soon as I could, if I can, Your Honor.
What do you want to do?
I want to go into this type of field of job, but right now I'm under the table. Hopefully, with my background, people will accept me. I have experience, you know. But if I need to, you know, I can go work a normal job, 9 to 5, gas station, grocery store.
There's all kind. The last guy that was in here an hour ago is a cement finisher for $40 an hour. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do for a lot of money. I mean, Mr. Watson termed you as being a kid, but you're not a kid. You're 20 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, get out and do something and stop working under the table and then getting the money, spending the money. Do something, okay? Don't get stuck in neutral. Why don't you have a license?
As the questioning continues, the discussion quietly shifts away from the shooting and toward the defendant's future. Judges often use this part of a sentencing hearing to measure potential rather than just blame.
I've been just contemplating on it. You know.
Don't contemplate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Get a license.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, is there anything stopping you besides your contemplation?
No, Your Honor.
God damn it, quit contemplate. Don't contemplate getting an over-the-table job. Don't contemplate getting a license. Go do what you're supposed to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? What happened in high school? Why didn't you finish?
In high school, at North High School, there were some problems with kids, a lot of kids in there. And one day I was punched in the face by a kid, and I feel like I just fell out over that, got really upset. I had some really bad mental issues in high school. Had to go to Laurelwood for self-harming myself. I felt like I just fell out from there and just really stopped caring, Your Honor, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to getting my GED, Your Honor.
All right, anything else you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right. That's enough?
Your Honor, I know that the victim wrote something for the victim advocate to present to the court. I would ask for her to be able to do that at this time.
Okay.
Hi, Your Honor.
No.
The victim sent this to me about 2 hours ago. He understands that he submitted a victim impact statement, but he wanted something read in court. He said this whole situation could have been prevented with self-control and understanding. You don't have to be a tough guy or a wannabe gangster. It's not in the defendant because he shot a random person and ran. I don't wish bad on no man, and I'm sure the judge is going to do his due diligence in making the right sentence. Whatever happens, I hope the defendant starts to move smarter, not like a little boy. He's not a gangster for shooting. Anybody can do that, like I said. I don't even know him, so it's still confusing. But I know we're both trying to move on to the next phase of our life, so it is what it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Your Honor, this whole situation, it's serious, but it's somewhat foolish as well. We're talking about two people who didn't know each other whatsoever, and within 45 seconds of them meeting each other for the very first time, one of them was shot. As you can tell from the indictment, there was a huge reduction in the charges, and that came down to the state's decision about the question of who initiated the confrontation. It was whether the defendant initiated the confrontation when he first said to the victim, what are you looking at? And then there was words exchanged there. Or did the victim initiate the situation by charging up the stairs? That was a question that we felt like a jury could have went either way on, and ultimately we felt that we felt that it was the right thing to do to offer the plea to the two F4s. I will say that there was significant harm here because somebody was shot. However, the state is recommending community control.
There was Mr. Knopf.
The victim's statement changes the emotional balance of the hearing without turning it into a demand for revenge. Instead of focusing entirely on personal suffering, the message frames the shooting as the product of unnecessary pride and impulsive decisions.
What was the indication that Shepard had a firearm in this case?
The victim told the police that he had a firearm.
Okay.
And he also fumbled the magazine after he was shot.
He what?
He fumbled the magazine. He pulled out his firearm after he was shot, and he dropped the magazine on the ground.
Okay. So, as I recall, and I look at the docket here, we had an arraignment on April 15. Were you here for that?
I was, Your Honor.
So we have the arraignment, he pleads not guilty, and then we continued on, he pled guilty to these charges.
That is correct, Your Honor. Prior to the indictment, I had numerous conversations with the state, with Prosecutor Knopf, including ultimately having my client testify before the grand jury. So there was a lot of pre-trial discussions prior to the indictment coming down, Your Honor.
Okay. So that's kind of unusual. I don't recall that happening at all since I've been here. So nothing, I've not seen anything good ever happen at the Skylight Inn. Every bit of news that comes out of the Skylight Inn is bad news. So I'm not sure why you would ever go there. Yeah, go ahead.
My girlfriend works at Bob Evans. I didn't want to go to Skylight Inn. I wanted to go back home, but she had work in the morning, and I told her I did not want to go there at all.
Okay. It's a shithole.
Yes, Your Honor.
So this situation, not only as you tell it, but as Shepard tells it, from the information given to me by Mr. Knopf, you two, for whatever reason, feel the need to, whether it was you first or him first, or who cares, okay? The problem is you two feel the need to say something to each other for some reason. I don't know what good you thought was going to come out of that. But your belief that as a result of this back and forth, that he was reaching for something inside, and you thought it was a gun, was a reasonable belief, and it turns out you were correct. Now, to your credit, you go away from that car, you go up the stairs to go about your business, and he follows you up the stairs, and as I understand it, Mr. Knopf, there was an infant in his vehicle. Is that right?
There was, Your Honor, there was a 1-year-old, and at the hospital, the victim did tell the police that he was going up there to, quote, beat his ass.
That's what Shepard said.
Yes, correct, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So he's following you up as you're walking up there with your girlfriend to beat your ass. And once you see him trying to get through that door that he had no business getting into, at least at that point he had no business getting into it, is when you see him produce his gun. And I know there was some conflicting statement. Wasn't there something conflicting from Shepard initially that he didn't have a gun?
No, it was that he quoted or stated that he never pulled his gun out and
Okay.
never had his hand on his waistband.
Which obviously he did, because he fumbled the magazine right out of the gun. Okay, so I'm not going by your recitation. Okay, I'm going by a combination of yours, his, and the facts that he dropped the magazine. Okay, so as we talked in chambers before I came in here, and Mr. Watson thought that there was a viable self-defense claim if you went to trial, which is a crapshoot. You may get that, you may not get that, okay? But there was a viable self-defense claim. So you've as you talk about it, the reason you have that firearm, you are aware of your surroundings, and your reasons for carrying it are your reasons for carrying it, okay? And so you know what areas may be trouble and what areas may not be trouble, okay? So
The judge now moves beyond listening and begins testing the entire case against the available evidence. Instead of accepting either side's version at face value, he pieces together facts from the investigation, the plea discussions, and statements made by both participants.
Nobody likes in the middle of that busy intersection people firing guns, okay? There's a lot of bad shit that can happen, okay? Somebody at Bob Evans could get hit. Somebody across the street at CVS or the gas station could get hit, okay? A car could get popped, okay? So ain't nothing good happening in that, but this is an unusual situation. So I've reviewed this report. I've reviewed the written victim impact statement I got from Mr. Shepard. I've also reviewed the video that you referenced before I came in here. And I've listened to Mr. Pirro relate the other information from Mr. Shepard. I've considered all the provisions in 29, 29, 11, 12, and 13. I'm going to place you on community control for 4 years. 60 days in jail with credit for 60. You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're to obtain full employment, and I mean full, regular, legitimate employment, like when you get paid with a W-2 or so that it's above board, because you need to get on with things. Okay?
Yes,
you need to get on with your life. I want you to get your GED, get a valid driver's license, no contact with Darian Shepard, no contact with the Skylight Inn, and pay the cost and supervision fees. Ms. Knaus, anything else?
I wonder, Your Honor, do you think he should have a mental health evaluation?
Do you think you should have a mental health evaluation?
No, Your Honor.
Well, you're going to get a mental health evaluation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're going to follow any recommendations that are made. Anything else, Ms. Knaus?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Do you understand all the terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question about the terms?
No, Your Honor.
All right, if you don't comply with the terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control. And if I find you violated, there's a potential of 54 months in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
The remaining charges are dismissed. Is there a forfeiture on the firearm?
There is, Your Honor, and then also,
The firearm is forfeited.
there's also restitution for the.
Well, I can't make a good sense out of this restitution, so Mr. Shepard is going to have to straighten that out through some sort of civil action, because I can't tell from what was submitted here what that amount should be.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Watson?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.
The final sentence reflects a court trying to redirect a life instead of simply ending momentum through incarceration. Community control comes with conditions that are deliberately practical rather than symbolic. Legitimate employment, a GED, a driver's license, and compliance with supervision all target the same underlying problem: instability. The unexpected addition of a mental health evaluation reinforces that the judge sees unanswered personal issues that could influence future decisions if left untreated. None of these conditions erase the seriousness of the offense. Instead, they create measurable expectations that force the defendant to prove change through consistent action rather than promises. The warning about a lengthy prison sentence for any violation ensures that accountability remains close at hand, making rehabilitation an opportunity rather than a guarantee. The hearing closes by showing how sentencing extends beyond punishment into long-term legal consequences. The firearm forfeiture permanently removes the weapon that played a central role in the case, reducing the chance of repeating the same pattern. The unresolved restitution issue also highlights an important legal boundary. Rather than forcing an uncertain financial ruling, the judge leaves that dispute for the proper civil process where damages can be examined more carefully. That decision reflects procedural discipline instead of rushing to finish every issue in one hearing. Looking at the case as a whole, the outcome sends a clear message. The court acknowledged evidence supporting the defendant's fear, rejected unnecessary incarceration, but demanded meaningful life changes in return. It is a sentence built on accountability, public safety, and the belief that future choices will ultimately determine whether this courtroom becomes a turning point or merely another stop in a criminal record.